Can you solve this math challenge coming from the 25th Philippine Mathematical Olympiad qualifying stage? Here's the question. Find the sum of all the squares of all integers n for which square root of 4n plus 25 all over n minus 20 is an integer. You can pause this video if you want to give this problem a try. And now, let's answer this question together. So, our goal in this question is to find the sum of the squares of all integers n for which this number square root of 4n plus 25 all over n minus 20 is an integer. So, here's the choices. A is 466, B is 476, C is 2306, and D is 2531. So, to answer this question, first is, of course, to take this number that we want, and our goal here is to make this number an integer. So, to do that, let's manipulate first the numerator. Now, we need to rewrite 4n plus 25 in terms of n minus 20. If we do that, we get 4 times n minus 20 plus 105 because we have 4n and 4 times negative 20 we have negative 80. Negative 80 plus 105 we get positive 25. So we get the same number or the same numerator. Now why we do that? Because from here we can use the concept of similar fraction. This can be written as this form. We have 4 multiplied by n minus 20 all over n minus 20 plus 105 all over n minus 20. And now, n minus 20 over n minus 20 cancel out. This will give us 4. So now, we have 4 plus something that is a perfect square. And in order to make this a perfect square, we need to take note of this number 105 all over n minus 20. Now, to make this number an integer, we need to get the prime factorization of 105. And 105 is just 3 times 5 times 7. And from here, we can now list all of its factors. So we have possible negative 1, possible negative 3, possible negative 5, possible negative 7, all the way up to possible negative 105. And now, we want this number to be a perfect square. So the question is, what do we need to add to 4 to make a perfect square? Using these factors of 105. Now, one way to get a perfect square if we add 5 to 4. So, if this 105 all over n minus 20 equals to 5, then 4 plus 5 must be equal to 9. And 9 is definitely a perfect square. Another number is when we add to 4, we get a perfect square is 21. Because 4 plus 21 will give us 25. So, another case, if 105 all over n minus 20 equals 21, then this number is a perfect square. Also, don't forget that when we add 4 to negative 3, we get 1, and 1 is also a perfect square. And negative 3 is one of the factors of 105. So now, here's the plan. First thing is, we need to let 105 over n minus 20 equal to 5, equal to 21, equal to negative 3, and solve for the value of n because we know if we do that, we get a perfect square. So let's begin. Let's have this number 105 over n minus 20 and equate this to 5. Now, we can rewrite this as follows. We have 105 over 5 equals n minus 20. Now, 105 over 5 will give us 21. Now, to get the value of n, let's add 20 on both sides. This will give us the value of n as 21 plus 20, or simply 41. So we have now the first value of n. Now, how about the second value? So let's get 105 over n minus 20 and equate this to 21. Now, rearrange some terms a little bit. This will give us 105 over 21 equals to n minus 20. Now, 105 over 21 will give us 5. Now, to get n, just add 20 on both sides. This will give us the value of n as 25. Here's the second value for n. Now, the third value of n is when 105 over n minus 20 equals to negative 3. Again, rearrange some terms a little bit. 105 over negative 3 will give us negative 35. Now add 20 on both sides. This will give us the value of n as negative 15. And now we found 3 possible values of n that will make this number 4 plus 105 all over n minus 20 an integer. And also, take note of the question. The question is asked for the sum of the squares of all integers n for which this number is an integer. So we need to find the sum of the squares. So what we're going to do here is to square all of these numbers, then add them all. So we have 41 squared plus 21 squared plus negative 15 squared. Now 41 squared, this will give us 1,681. 25 squared is 625. Negative 15 quantity squared is just 225. Now if we add all of these numbers together, we get the answer of 2,531. Therefore, our answer to this question must be letter D, 2,531. And as always, we are done.